Hello, and welcome in, you guys. Today's video features the USS Cambridge, brand new Tier 9 American heavy cruiser that is currently in testing on the PTS server. So let's look at the in-game description. Year of design 1955. Cambridge is based on a cruiser armed with 305mm main battery guns, representing a hypothetical embodiment of the preliminary design the heavy cruiser study, Scheme 3, in 1940. Incorporated into the hull of an Oregon City-class ship, by the end of World War II, USS Cambridge was still in the early stages of construction, making her a suitable platform for experiments with weaponry typical of large cruisers. So this is the Cambridge, the USS Cambridge. Now remember, this is in testing and subject to balancing changes throughout the testing process. But let's start by looking at the armor layout. 27mm upper casemate, 27mm deck, 27 rear plating, aft end plating, upper and lower 27. The main Citadel armor belt is 152. Additional strip of 76mm. You're submerged under the waterline. Superstructure is 16. Frontal plate 325. Decent frontal plate. On turrets, we look at the Citadel itself. Is ever so slightly above the waterline here, running from the secondary battery here, just behind the second turret. Advanced ship 140, 27 here on the stern, 27 and 127 and 76 here, 127. So that's the Citadel. This of course ties in to the ship's survivability. 49,000 hit points with a torpedo protection damage reduction of 13%. Now this is of course augmented by having 4 super heals, and this is a heal similar to the one on the Salem. So very good super heal with this build. Get 4 of them. At the upgrades I'm using, Captain build I'm currently testing. Nothing really out of the ordinary here. So let's move on to the main battery guns. 3 of these twin mounted 305mm guns, 2 turrets super firing on the bow and 1 here on the stern. 11-second reload. These turrets can rotate 180 degrees in just over 22 seconds. They have a max dispersion of 134 meters with a max firing range of 16.1 kilometers. They fire both high explosive and armor piercing. The high explosive has a max damage of 4,300 with a 29% fire chance. They can pen a very respectable 51mm of armor and have a shell speed of 808 meters per second. The armor piercing with this build has a max damage of 9,346 and a slower shell velocity of 762 meters per second. Quite decent main battery guns. In terms of secondary battery, get 6 of these twin-mounted 127mm turrets, 12 of these barrels in total. They have a 6-second reload, base firing range of 7.3 kilometers, firing high explosive shells, 1800 max damage, with a 6% fire chance. They can pen 21 millimeters of armor and have a shell speed of 792 meters per second. Let's move to the depth charge airstrike. An operational range of 7 kilometers with a reload time of 30 seconds. 2 available flights, each with 1 aircraft dropping 2 bombs that have a max damage of 4,200. 7 kilometer range on these anti-submarine warfare airstrike aircraft. In terms of AA defense, Cambridge gets 10 of these twin-mounted 76mm guns. They're mounted on both the deck and the superstructure. There are 20 of these 76mm guns total. Secondary battery that we just looked at is dual purpose, so an additional 12 127s. All combined, they pump out a continuous average damage of 334. You can see the values here. The majority is medium range, out to 4 kilometers. The max firing range is 5.8. You get 5 shell explosions per flak salvo with a max damage of 1691. And the max firing range of these is 5.8 kilometers, while the priority sector reinforcement is 50%. In terms of maneuverability, quickly get the speed flag off. Base speed is 33 knots. Enhanced with the Sierra Mike signal flag to 34.7. Turning circle radius of 750 meters and a rudder shift time of 8.7 seconds. Here's one thing I omitted to show earlier. You do have a choice between hydroacoustic and defensive AA fire when it comes to the terms of concealment. Finally, concealment rating of 70. This is with a full stealth build, incorporating both upgrade and captain skill here. You can get the concealment to 9.9 kilometers for surface detection rate. You'll be detected by enemy submarines and enemy aircraft, both at 6.2 kilometers. So this is the USS Cambridge, currently in testing on the PTS server. Now, again, I will remind you, this is subject to balancing changes throughout the testing process, not the finished article. But I hope you enjoyed this little preview guide of what is currently on offer on the PTS. If you'd like to see some live gameplay, feel free to come over and visit me on Twitch. You can see the link here on screen. I look forward to seeing you all.